Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collingwood for YouTube, Resident _of Collingwood for BitChute. And I got this from comicbook.com. This was reported 11:04 of 8 at 8:21 p.m. Eastern Time last night from comicbook.com. It says Dark Shadows reboot reportedly dead at the CW. The latest attempt to resurrect the cult supernatural soap opera Dark Shadows has hit a wall at the CW and will not go forward. Last September, news broke that Warner Brothers Television was working to develop a sequel to the 1966 series, which would have been titled Dark Shadows Reincarnation. Revenge and Ghost Whisperer veteran Mark B. Perry was developing the series, reportedly after pursuing it for 2 years. The series, which would have followed back up with characters from the original and followed their exploits in the present day, reportedly failed to get as far as the pilot stage and is no longer in development. TV Line reported the disappointing news in a Q&A column with fans at the time it was announced. Dark Shadows Reincarnation was one of the number of old properties looking for new life with the WBTV and the CW, including Walker Texas Ranger, the 4400, Kung Fu, and the Lost Boys. Yeah, they've picked up the Texas Ranger show and the Lost Boys, though. So, if this is legitimate that they've basically axed it and killed it off, all I can say is that I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna sit here and rant and rave because that would be too easy. What I'm gonna do is plead that hopefully they change their minds and give us a Dark Shadows, give us a new Dark Shadows series. That's my hope. Not that they'll listen to this video, but I became a fan in the 90s when it was re-airing on the Sci-Fi Channel. I watched it from the beginning, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the characters, Victoria, Barnabas, all of them. It's something that gave me an escape, and which I so desperately needed, and I've talked about that before. But for them to, again, if this is legitimate, for them to axe it, this time, it just feels like that they're holding out a piece of meat and saying, here it is, and then when you go for it, you're excited, they pull it back like, nah, we were just joking. It just feels like they're jerking the fans off. And, I don't mean to be negative or nitpicky, it's just that's my feelings. That's how I feel about it. And it's disheartening. It's heartbreaking, really. I guess I'll ask the question of, how can a fan like John Philip Betancourt, who takes the time and effort and gave you a blog story for 5 years full of new characters, new stories, new arcs, even had old characters in it too, but mainly new characters, and it was really, it's really good. How can a fan do that, and yet Warner Brothers hasn't even come close? The closest they came was '04. Was '04 unaired pilot. Not, but since then haven't come close to having another Dark Shadows series. I mean, the last time we had Dark Shadows was the revival on NBC. That was it. But CW, or Warner Brothers, just hasn't even come close enough for a new series. And I think it's just, no disrespect intended, it just feels like a lack of effort on their part, that they just haven't got it off the ground. And maybe even a lack of interest from them. I do feel that way. That's my feeling of this, that it just feels like there's a lack of interest on their part, but they have enough interest to tease the fans, to sort of, okay, we'll put this out there. And I was so excited last year. I was so hopeful. And now to read this, it feels like someone punched me in the chest. And again, this was reported last night. I seen it last night, but I did not want to report it. I wanted to wait and see maybe if it was wrong. That's my hope that it is. Again, maybe they got this wrong. But if they didn't, it's disheartening and it's heartbreaking if this is legit. Again, I'll leave a link in the description box where I read this. But, just as a fan, as a Dark Shadows fan, it's heartbreaking. It just makes you go, why? Why can't you get a new series off the ground? Why can't you get, something that does sequel the original off the ground? Because here's the thing. There was a revival in 91. Again, a revival, a reboot. Okay, they did a reboot once. To me, sequeling the series would have been something trying new with Dark Shadows. They had never really attempted that. Why not attempt it? What could it hurt to attempt it? It could draw you a whole new audience, maybe. It's not just about the Dark Shadows fans who exist, like me and many, many others. It's about getting new fans as well. I mean, that's, say what you want about the 2012 movie. You may have liked it, you may have not, but it did draw a whole new fan base to Dark Shadows. And again, maybe that's what this series could have done as well. But we won't know that now, it seems. And that's where I'm disheartened. It's just, we can't catch a break when it comes to Dark Shadows being put on back on television. And if honestly, if it's over for Warner Brothers, if Warner Brothers doesn't want it, I don't know that. But I do know the Dan Curtis estate has the rights, so maybe another studio can buy Dark Shadows and actually do something with it. That's my hope out of this. I'm not going to walk away dejected or feeling too disappointed, because my silver lining is there's always hope on the horizon, and that's where I look at this. There, you know, I'm looking at this from a hopeful standpoint, even though there's no Dark Shadows coming. I'm heartbroken over that, sure, but I'm going to keep hope alive because I love Dark Shadows. I love talking about it. I love talking about the Coffin box set, the revival, the movies, all of it. I'm just a huge, huge fan. So, my plea to them would be, please give it a chance. But if this is legit, they're obviously not giving it a chance. And again, if this is legit, I'm sorry to report it. I didn't want to report it last night. I damn sure don't want to sit here and report it today. But I guess it just has to be said. And that's where I'll leave this. Again, I'm hopeful that maybe one day we'll get another Dark Shadows. Maybe somebody will, buy Dark Shadows and put it back on television. That's my hope. But or maybe we'll get a movie. And again, I've talked about what I want to see in a movie is a 3-film set, but that's a whole nother discussion. So I'll leave a link in the description box, guys. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm sorry to report this. I really, really am. It's heartbreaking, but you guys try to have a great day. I'll see you.